This is Bahamas drill journalist, and this is a sexgate story of former FNM leader and Minister of Parliament Dr. Hubert Minnis and Minister of Parliament of Youth, Sports and Culture Lanisha Roll. Hubert Minnis is a mastermind behind his ex-Minister of Parliament colleague Lanisha Roll's arrest for frauding government-issued checks, Bahamian lost property, using the people's taxpayers' monies to benefit her lavish luxurious lifestyle. Prime Minister Hubert Minnis was grinding, better known as piping down or having sex with his colleagues, but specifically MP Lanisha Roll was the sweetheart of Dr. Minnis' life. Prime Minister MP Dr. Minnis used the government and the people's taxpayers' stolen monies to fund his sweetheart Lanisha Roll's lavish lifestyle. Dr. Minnis was transferring thousands of the Bahamian dollars to her Bank of the Bahamas and her offshore banking accounts. Minnis also offered several proposals for Lanisha to obtain ownership of lost land of Bahamians. Roll resigned from her cabinet post in February 2021. Her resignation followed a lockdown of the Ministry of Youth, Sport, and Culture ordered by former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis amid an ongoing audit of the National Sports Authority. Lanisha Roll granted $150,000 bail in Nassau, Bahamas. The former Youth, Sports, and Culture Minister Lanisha Roll was charged with 1 count of bribery and 14 counts of conspiracy to commit fraud by false pretenses related to contracts awarded by that ministry and the National Sports Authority. Roll, her husband Vontenkan Roll, and 3 others, Alfred Milton Mortimer, Godfrey Luke Burrows, and Wilfred Roll Jr. were not required to enter a plea as they were arraigned before Justice Carolyn Vaught Evans today. The former minister was charged with bribery, and with conspiracy to commit fraud by false pretenses in connection with the procurement of a contract valued at $48,000 for the Grand Bahamas Sporting Complex project. The contract was issued to G&C Landscaping and Maintenance by the NSA. She was charged with conspiracy to commit fraud by false pretenses for another contract at the Grand Bahamas Sporting Complex project valued at $9,500. The contract was issued by the NSA to Avian General Maintenance Company. She was also charged with conspiracy to commit fraud by false pretenses in connection with 10 contracts issued by the Ministry of Youth, Sports, and Culture at the South Beach Pools. Contracts at the South Beach Pools project were issued to Intercoastal Development and Construction, valued at $36,000 and $6,000 to Julia Johnson, $26,000 and $30,000 for Restoration Maintenance and Landscaping, $30,000 for TCS Construction, $27,000 and $36,000 for CAM Enterprises, $16,000 and $28,000 for Creative Designs by Monroe's Landscaping, included, and extra $49,000. The former minister was accused of conspiracy to commit fraud by false pretenses in connection with a contract at the National Tennis Center grounds and baseball stadium grounds valued at $228,000 to Restoration Maintenance and Landscaping. Roll and her husband Vontenkan Roll were charged with conspiracy to commit fraud by false pretenses in connection with a contract at the Kendall G. L. Isaacs Gymnasium valued at $168,000 to Julia Johnson. Mortimer was charged with bribery in procuring a contract at the Grand Bahamas Sporting Complex issued by the NSA to G&C Landscaping and Maintenance. No value was provided for the contract. Burrows was charged with fraud by false pretenses in connection with a contract at the South Beach Pools issued by the Ministry of Youth, Sports, and Culture to Miller's Masonry, Carpentry and Maintenance, valued at $34,690. Burrows and Wilfred Roll Jr. were charged with conspiracy to commit fraud by false pretenses in connection with the contract at the South Beach Pools to Miller's Masonry, Carpentry and Maintenance. The timeline of all the charges spanned between 2019 and 2021. Roll was granted $150,000 bail with 2 to 5 sureties, and is required to sign in at the Western Police Station on the last Monday of each month before 7 p.m. Her husband has similar bail conditions but was granted $50,000 bail. Mortimer, Burrows, and Roll were granted $10,000 bail and are also required to sign in at the police station nearest them every month. The matter was adjourned to the 31st of May, 2023 for the service of a voluntary bill of indictment. Roll is now the second member of parliament under the Minnis administration to face criminal charges in the past year. Long Island MP Adrian Gibson was charged last June with bribery, conspiracy to commit bribery, receiving, and money laundering connected to contracts elite maintenance and Bahamas maintenance and restoration received during his tenure as chairman of the Water and Sewerage Corporation. Now I see why Pinted beat Hubert Minnis, because the FMNS knows Minnis dirt, but the Bahamian people voted him and didn't know nothing at all. Under Hubert Minnis' administration, MP Rees Shipman was seeing misdealings with the people's money and Minnis resigned him from party. After former MP Rees Shipman uncover all type of dirt on Minnis and expose how Minnis wasted and take our taxpayers' money to buy his luxury collect vagina, former Prime Minister MP Dr. Minnis' wife remains humble because she is also rich off the people's money and is humiliated to the fact that her husband is a cheating, conniving con man. Former Prime Minister Hubert paid everyone to be quiet and keep Narsil lip. He pays for his entire entourage, pays for his traveling expense, all paid of the people's taxpayers' monies. The FNM talked about Philip Brave Davis traveling and spending the people's taxpayers' monies, but Prime Minister Philip Brave Davis is only trying to catch up to Dr. Minnis' lavish thieving lifestyle. It seems as our MPs live the life of popsters. This is Bahamas. Drill, and I would proudly say I would only spend about $40 on former MP Lanisha Roll's vagina, but my man Dr. Hubert Minnis was spending half a ticket a time to eat her Dodger cat then get pissed on like P. Diddy. Word to my mother on my folks though. Bahamas Drill won't even have. I'm out. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe.